Welcome to week 7 of a pre-season vlog. Let's get started. Kinda doing a wee bit more work today with some jumping and some power related stuff. Games and season is nearly ready to get kicked off really. We're in March now, so our season starts first week of April, so we haven't got long now. So everything now is kind of getting that switch to a wee bit more, I suppose, sport specific work. So today's workout is just going to be just my very minimal lower body strength work because we've got running later, and I'm going to do some injury prevention stuff as well. But I'm going to take you all through it, so keep watching. Okay, so we're getting into my hamstring work now, my RDLs. One of my favourite movements, the hamstrings. Doing the RDL today, just for hand movements. Key thing, shoulders tight, soft knees, get that ass back. Control, up nice and strong, squeeze the glutes to the top. If you're doing like an RDL and you find that your knees are bending too much, there's a big likelihood you probably work on your quads more than your hamstrings, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the goal for this year is to work your hamstrings. So the key thing is soft knees, push your hips back as if you're trying to get your ass to touch the back wall behind you. And the further you get your hips back, the more you'll start to engage the hamstrings, all those muscles in the back of the body, what you're trying to work on. 3 sets of 5 in that. Okay, so we're going to do a wee bit of work for the groins now. Big injury concern for GAA players. So here's a couple of movements. First one, get a foam roller. Lie on your back, bend knee position. Roller between the knees. And try and break the roller with your knees for 10 seconds. That's much harder than it looks. Okay, next one, similar kind of idea. Legs are going to be out in lengthened position, roller between the ankles, trying to close it now with long legs or straight legs. Lying on your side, get this leg straight and point your toe up towards your head. Cross this leg over the top, and then I'm going to raise this straight leg up. Going for 12 reps. The adductors, but probably still quite underutilized. So get a bench, get a box. Side plank position. Leg up in the box. Up. Hold yourself in a straight line. Pressure on this leg. 20-second hold. Just want to add in a wee bit of work for the hip flexors too. Kind of keep the hips nice and healthy. So, toes pointing up towards you, try and keep yourself up nice and tall. Straight leg pulses. This work we're doing, it isn't fucking particularly flashy or all that exciting, but it's important shit that has to be done. You know, ultimately whenever you're training for Gaelic, you're not training to be a weightlifter, you're training to keep yourself on the pitch, injury free, keep yourself strong and powerful, and you have to do these wee shitty things to try and maintain that there. You know, hips and groins are always going to flare up, so doing bits of work for that is important. The thing is, you know, managing your load and managing your volume across the week. Today I didn't do a whole lot of actual heavy work because I have to do a running workout today, and I have to do it within a couple of hours now. I don't get a long time to rest. So I could have went and smashed myself with some split squats, some step ups if I had the time to recover. And I remember that the goal and the priority is football and keeping yourself fresh for the pitch. Sometimes you can lose sight of that and end up just fucking busting yourself, which there is a time and place for, but ultimately remember that the goal is Gaelic performance. So sometimes you have to take a step back to take a step forward, you know what I'm saying? We are back for week 7 of the vlog, so we're fully back into pre-season training now. I think probably like a lot of clubs, we're having difficulty just getting pitches because the weather's been so bad, but training's been going good and I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying getting out and actually getting on the pitch. And I've been enjoying it, I've been enjoying getting back out into the pitch, been enjoying getting the ball going again. It's just the weather's really shit at the minute, which doesn't make things fun, but it is what it is. This week I think we have a game later in the week, so a big part of the work this week is get the hard training done at the start of the week, so it's giving me time to recover. Today I done that session, and then I'm going to do a jiu-jitsu session, I'm going to do a running session, and I'm going to take us through it all here. So yeah, big training day, so stay tuned. So one of the big difficulties I have is that the nature of the work is that it's unsociable hours. So you're working maybe late in the evening, you're working in the morning, and the time you have free is usually in the middle of the day when everyone else is working. So it's not very sociable. It's also difficult when it comes to training. You're constantly having to change your own trainings around or change work around to try and get down to pitch sessions, and it's tough. It can be a stress. Tonight we had a pitch session, or we have a pitch session. I can't make it because I've already pre-booked to go and take another session for a team, and it's annoying, it's frustrating, because you know you want to commit and you want to fucking give your best to the team, but it's difficult sometimes. Not only have to prioritise work too. So because the management are pretty understanding and we're nice enough to be like, don't worry about it, go to your work. But because they're being nice to us, that means I have to repay it back, and I have to put in that session myself today. So we're going to go through a wee running workout. But before we get into that running workout, we're going to do a wee bit of jiu-jitsu. Okay, see you up there.
Come on, side. Please start. So you want your grips first? Put it in. If that's not deep enough, then I can sink it in. I'm going to take that go first. Okay. We're going to keep my heart nice and high as well, so that I control your posture. I'm going to try and get access to that shoulder. Yeah. You don't really have it at the moment, so I might pull you like that. From there, I'll just sink in the overhand grip. Okay? So like your posture's still broken a wee bit there now, so I'll quickly turn on that hip, and then boom. Yeah. Come on, right. Yeah. And if you need to feed it, yes. So you've got, you want access to that shoulder, boom. Just take your overhand straight away. Up on that hip, there you go.
So, change of plans. So basically the 3G pitch was locked, which I did not think would be the case, and I was going to go down and then do my treadmill and just use it, but I did not bring my running shoes. So change of plans, basically I'm going to come home now, eat, do some work, go down and train and then work, rather than train, come home and then work. So just switching things around. So get a shower and get some food here now. Also shout out to the lads from GRG Sports. They came and done a podcast. Cian Hanlon, Shrose Akram, and it's also a company of Tom Parsons. There's them there. Sent me some, or gave me some gloves and a nice cap. They are essentially do kind of a bit of everything. So sell like sportswear, like tops, jackets, half zips, bags, do the gloves obviously and hats. But pretty good. Check them out on Instagram, Game Ready Gear. Shout out lads. Lunchtime today, fueling after the jiu-jitsu and getting some carbs in just for the session later on. We got some cod, some couscous, some potatoes and some coleslaw. A very clean meal. Looking for, actually no I'm not, it's not that exciting. But it is fuel and it'll fuel up this workout later. Let's get some calories in. Eating this, I'm going to do a wee bit of work, so I'm just going to show you what I'm working on here at the minute. So that meal wasn't too exciting, but this one is. This is a millionaire shortbread. I'm not doing it justice with that picture, it's fucking quality, it got made for me, homemade. It's Pancake Tuesday today, I'm not having any pancakes, so I feel like this is completely acceptable. Before we get down to my running session, I'm doing a wee bit of work for the Masters here, and I'm doing a paper on groins and adductor strain. I'm just reading through some research, and it's actually crazy how high and how prevalent groin injuries are. Most of the research is around soccer, but you know, like one here is that like groin injuries account for 10 to 15% of all soccer related injuries. Going on as well, even rugby players, it's 10.6% of injuries. They're nearly always the highest, along with like hamstrings, especially in soccer, and some of their studies on Gaelic. That's why like that work we did at the start with the foam roller, like trying to squeeze in and doing Copenhagens. They're kind of boring and they're not very flashy, but they're really important because the groins always fucking flare up. It's just the nature of those kind of games. It's just the nature of Gaelic and those types of games where it's short, sharp movements, moving right, moving left. Groins flare up a lot more, so very important that you do that work earlier. I wasn't just chatting shit. Those last couple of runs were tough. I just put on the heart rate monitor. Average cals got up in that zone pretty nicely. That's so ideally that's where I wanted to be, in that kind of Rubik zone. Wasn't really in that max effort zone, which is what we want. This was essentially an aerobic workout, so more fitness. 30 minutes. That's tough. Now I got a coach for like the next 4 or 5 hours. Show you some clips and then we'll get chatting about training schedules. Okay, so chat now about like what's the best workout routine and what's the best split for Gaelic players to do. It's a question that comes up a lot, especially now in the kind of in-season we're getting there, where you've got a lot of games, you've got a lot of training. So the question always is, how do I structure my training? What should I do? When should I do it? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so hopefully we're going to answer them questions now. A lot of the traditional splits you'll see, like push-pull legs, chest, arms, back, legs, come from the bodybuilding sport. And although those things can be good for putting on a bit of muscle, can be good for putting on a bit of size and strength, we have to remember that it's ultimately that was designed for a different sport. And our priority when we're playing Gaelic, we're playing hurling, is to improve our performance on the pitch. So our training has to be in line with that. And the way usually I like to structure it is I like to use as many muscles as I can at one time, and trying to use big compound movements. I don't like to particularly isolate things, so like just training my chest in a session or just training my arms. It's usually trying to train all of my upper body or all of my lower body through big movements. I feel like that transfers a bit more to the pitch, and I feel like it transfers a bit more to injury prevention. 2 ways I think you can go about it, really depends on your schedule. The first is the one I go for, it's upper body and lower body split. So I'll usually do 4 sessions per week, 2 of them being upper body sessions, 2 of them being lower body sessions. I usually think these are better if you're a wee bit more advanced in terms of your lifting, because you only get more sessions in. I mean, we only focus on particular lifts in those sessions. Now you can do it for beginners, but I think for an advanced kind of gym goer athlete, I think they're good. It will so this is maybe suited if you have like less pitch work going on at the minute. So maybe you're only out with your club maybe 2 nights a week and you've got more time to devote to the gym. Upper lower splits can be good because you can get more sessions in, obviously, because you have more time. The only sort of maybe drawbacks with something like the upper lower splits is, number one, it's going to require more time, so you need more time in the week because you're adding maybe essentially another 4 hours of training on, so you need to have that time. If you're a student, or if you're someone like me that has time maybe in the middle of the day, whatever it is, you have time to do that. But if you're working maybe 9 to 5 or something like that, it's going to be more difficult. Also, it might be harder to manage fatigue, particularly if you're just getting into your pre-season training now. If you're training 4 times a week in the gym, you're out in the pitch maybe 2-3 times, it's going to get sore in your body. So you have to know how to manage the fatigue and manage your training properly, which takes a wee bit of experience and takes a wee bit of structure. And then the other thing is you have to be adaptable. We know, like in Gaelic in our own training, that things change. Like you get a game cancelled because the pitch is wrecked, or a game just gets changed to the night or the next night, and you expect it to be at the end of the week. Things change, so this isn't as adaptable because you have more sessions and you have only 7 days in a week to do it, if that makes sense. So basically, it's just not as adaptable. But I like this. I love going to the gym. It's something I need to do every day, so I want to do more sessions. So breaking it up, upper body, lower body, I have a focus on power, I have a focus on strength, and focus on injury reduction, those sessions, and I have wee mini goals as well. So I like upper body, lower body. Now, if I had less time in the week, maybe I could only do 1 or 2 sessions per week. I'd be doing whole body sessions. I have less time, so I need to work more of my muscles at one time. And if I maybe only done upper body on Monday, and then I didn't get to do it until the following Monday, it's a long time, so I like to try and do a bit of both if I was to do it in the week. So 2 times per week, 1 time per week, whole body, working everything. So you're talking squats, bench press, deadlift, shoulder press, big movements like that. I think this can be suitable for anyone from beginner to advanced. I think it's really good for beginners that are just getting into the gym, but also if you're advanced and you have less time, you can still get really good workouts with whole body sessions, very demanding workouts. I say it's suited for busy athletes, in that if you have less time, maybe because of work, maybe because of having a lot of training on, this can be a good split to go for. Or else if you maybe have a lot of pitch work going on, maybe you're in uni or at school and you're out with your club team 1 or 2 nights, maybe you're out with your school team 1 or 2 nights, maybe you're out playing maybe another sport, you maybe just don't have as much time. So these here kind of sessions can be good because you don't need just as many of them. Now, the only drawbacks maybe you might find with these, and these aren't concrete, they're not fact, is because you're doing less sessions, you might find it harder to increase your muscle and strength just because you're not putting as much time into it. Some people though might thrive off 2 sessions per week, other people might struggle. I find, a sweet spot is 3 to 4 sessions, that's my own preference. But you might find it a wee bit harder to increase your muscle and strength. The other thing is, you're probably going to have a slightly longer session because you're trying to work more in those sessions. If you only have 1 session or 2 sessions, you're going to want to be ticking a lot of boxes in that session, so it might take you a wee bit longer. And then I suppose another good thing with it is it's slightly easier to manage in that, if you do have to change it around, you don't have to change an entire week of sessions. You can just put it the next day. Whereas this one, if I'm looking to do my lower body session a couple of days out from a game, but maybe my game gets changed the next night and it throws everything off, this one's slightly easier to manage because there's only 2 sessions in a week to change around. I meant to do this like pros and cons here, but I actually didn't. I just randomly wrote them in different letters. Don't know why I done that. So yeah, I hope that maybe answers a few questions. I've put up my Instagram like kind of training schedules and structures, Quinn's Strength Conditioning is. I've put that up there with like how you can maybe balance it with your pitch session, so you can go and check that out. But this is a general wee template, and this is the one I go for. So push, pull legs, things like that is not what I typically go for, but whatever floats your boat. So yeah, thanks for watching. That's us finished up for, I think, week 7 of the pre-season vlog. I hope that was useful for you. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next week for another one. Me and Joe's getting a bit of one-on-one time here.